Welcome to the vlog. How are you today? So I have a few things that we're talking about, little nebulous things. So we're gonna do a cleaning video. I have a cleaning video for you. I have a video. We're talking a little bit about braiding sweetgrass. I wanted to talk about the movies Presents as well as Nosferatu and give a little bit of interpretation of those movies. There are spoilers ahead, so do pay attention to those. So yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of those, a little bit of movie reviews, a little bit of book interpretation. I don't go too deep into Braiding Sweetgrass just because I just started it. Yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place with reading right now. But let's get into the vlog and do a little bit of reading and viewing.
So I have some appointments today, and I'm sitting in my car outside my doctor's office, and I'm reading The Poet X. She was caught kissing on the train with her boyfriend, and her mom found out, and so she got called a hoe again. Sorero or whatever. Sorero. Which apparently is like a Dominican word for hoe or whore. So she got grounded and was, all the parent things. I feel really bad for her. It's like, although she's like, how old is she in the book? She's a teenager. I think her mom's just looking out for her because she doesn't want her to be a teen. She's just worried about her becoming a teen mom, I think, is what it is. So she's really hard on her. I think she wants her to not be like her. The thing about it is, it's only going to make it worse. I think I gotta go, but I'll talk to you later. So I was reading The Poet X, and the worst thing has happened. It was her birthday, and her mom found her journal with all of her poetry in it. They had like years worth of her poetry in it, and her mom decided that she didn't like what she had written in her poetry book, like in her journal. That she said she thought all of these ugly thoughts about her family, and so she came back to the house, and her mom had decided to take a match to it, and she was burning it. She says, "Go get the trash can. I don't want to get ashes on my floor." And she was like, "I am never going to write another poem ever again." I was like, oh, yeah, it was just, it's rough going. So I finished The Poet X, and some of the more dated stuff about the book, it's always difficult when you mention pop culture references or people or like current events that are happening. And so they mentioned how she loves Nicki Minaj and Drake, and how she's a big Drake fan. And this is back in 2018. She's a big Drake fan, and how she's just starting to get to know Kendrick Lamar. And so this comes on the heels. I'm filming this just after the Super Bowl. If this had been written today, I'm not sure that this would have been written in the same style. But she talks just about how she thinks that Drake is such a good lyricist, and how he is such a great writer, and how she's so inspired by Drake, and how she loves, she just thinks that Drake is a great rapper. And I think it was a little dated in that sense. because I feel like if that had been written today, attitudes would have probably been a little bit different, especially coming from a teen novel. But yeah, it was good otherwise. But that was one of the more like, ooh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Ooh, A minor. Oh goodness. So I was reading this book, Braiding Sweetgrass, and I don't know if you've ever read it, but it talks about how certain things are just meant to be free in the world, like products, because they are gifts from the earth. And in the example that she gives, she talks about wild strawberries, that she would be offended if she ever saw wild strawberries for sale in the grocery store, because those are gifts from the earth, and that those things are not meant to be bought and sold. And I thought that was really interesting. But one of the things that she mentions in that chapter that you should never really purchase, buy, and sell, although we do pay for, is water. That we pay money for water, which, like bottled water, and that, you know, it's morally bankrupt to do things like buy water in the store when it's something that comes naturally from the earth, and that we shouldn't, that's something that, you know, people will try to sell to us as a commodity that we should not be paying for, because that's the market economy. That they will try to sell things that come to us free and natural from the earth. And so I realized that I do buy bottled water, and I realized how emotionally bankrupt it is to spend $2, $3, $4 for a bottle of water. So I've spent up to $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 for a bottle of water. For fancy bottles of water, I've spent an incredible amount of money on water, for fancy bottles of water to be shipped to me. And I realized how bankrupt that for special waters, and how bankrupt that is, how water comes from the earth, and how, sorry, my cat's gonna keep crying if I stay in here, and how we as a society, what I can do as an individual is resist that and stop buying bottled water. And that's just what I can do. Is my footprint on the planet is that to stop doing a morally bankrupt thing and purchasing bottled water. So I was reading Braiding Sweetgrass last night, and it was really good. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 10% of the way through right now, and it talks about like conservation of the planet, just about like how everything is a gift. Well, how things are a gift, and that some people will buy and sell things. So I watched Presents today. I'm going to watch Nosferatu later, but I watched Presents. And, yeah, I'm going to pick up my glasses now. But I'm starting to go to the movies again because there are actually some good movies at the theater right now. Because 2024 was kind of a stinko year for movies. Not so good. There were not very many good movies at the theater last year in my hometown. Like, just kind of a bad all-around year for movies, so to speak. But I don't know. I liked the movie that I saw today, Presents. It was about a girl who, well, it's about a family that moves into a house, and it's mostly because they want the boy to be, it all takes place within the house, and the boy is on the swim team, and they are, the whole impetus is that he's gonna be this, like, athletic star or whatever. But the house is, like, really expensive, and the mom is doing something slightly illegal, but I don't know if that pans out, or they don't quite go into what specifically she's doing. I kind of want to read the script because I think they would talk about it some more, but she was, like, deleting emails and doing all sorts of stuff that they kind of don't pan out about. The dad seemed like he was going to leave and like he was going to divorce her, but then he decides against it and that he's going to stay, and they take in a whole lot of nothing burger happens during the movie. And that there's a lot of things happening in the house, but, like, not a whole lot is happening. There's just kind of like this creepy aura of, like, people just standing in the corner, and there's a couple of really cool things that happens, and that the psychic looks directly at us, breaks the fourth wall, and that's kind of cool. Like, there's a sense of, because the sense is that, like, you're the presence in the house, and that there's a sense of, like, you are the thing that is haunting this house. And that's kind of the cool thing about the movie, is that you are trying to save the daughter, which I don't even know if they ever even say her name, from, like, I think they just call her Blue, but just trying to save her from whatever fate is befalling her. But in fact, I don't think they say anybody's name in the movie. The dad's name's Christian. I know that much. I don't know if they said the mom's name either. They say the friend's name, Nadia. But they're not just going around saying people's names in the movie. You just kind of could kind of miss that part. So I don't know. But the psychic, when she walks in the door, she goes, "Whoa," because it's sort of like, oh. And that made you think, like, oh, she isn't full of crap. Like, she actually is psychic. And she is kind of sensing the fact that there is a ghost in the house. But she talks about something like past, and she kind of reveals the plot in that it's sort of like past and present, past and future are together. And so the big reveal at the end is that what happens at the end is that they've been in the house haunting all along, and that they've been waiting. It's almost like they traverse time to try and save the sister, because they make it seem like it's the brother or something that's like gone back in time to save her from whatever fate befell her, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense inherently, but I'm not sure. Was it Nadia? Was it the brother? It's all very nebulous. But at the end, they seem to be released from whatever it was. Maybe they were stuck in a time loop. Anyway, I'm off to get my eyeglasses, so I will see you later. So I've got new glasses. We've got these ones. I don't know, do they look like safety glasses or do they look like real glasses? I don't know. We have these ones, and then all of the other glasses look like serial killer glasses. And then we've got these ones. I don't know why they're going with these like 90s frames lately. So Nosferatu kind of reminded me of a supernatural Romeo and Juliet story. Especially if you, there's spoilers ahead, especially that last shot. If you've ever seen Romeo and Juliet, the idea of the star-crossed lovers shot of the two. If you've ever seen the star-crossed lover shot, let me see if I can find a picture of it. Hang on. So I found some pictures of the death scenes from Romeo and Juliet. And as you can see, Juliet she kills herself and she throws herself onto the body of Romeo at the end of Romeo and Juliet. But as you can see, like the way that she's like laying on top of Romeo is very reminiscent of the way that Nosferatu is, the way that he dies at the end of the scene of Nosferatu is very similar to the end of Romeo and Juliet, and that there's a sense that there's a sense of this like star-crossed lovers, that they are not fated to be together, that there's a sense that they are, that this is an ill-fated love, that this is a love that cannot be, that this is something that perhaps one or both of them are desiring, but could not possibly happen in reality because it is not a realistic love. So there's this sense that when they try to, I suppose that they, what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to culminate, in rapture and try to make real their love in a certain way. When they try to, when everything culminates in this end, towards a where she gives herself over and says, you know, because she confirms it at the beginning that she is his lover, but then at the end even though she's married, she says, I am yours. And she gives herself over again. She reconfirms that she is his. And so she denies her own marriage of her husband and gives herself over to this darkness, this unholy love, this ill-fated love that cannot be. And so it culminates in a girl just needs to go to Europe, honestly. I just kept thinking, like, if she were born today, all she needed to do was just take a trip to Europe. Just have yourself an adventure, girl. Like, you just go to, she just would have gone to Eastern Europe and just had an adventure. Like, she could not travel. They're like, you can't travel by yourself. It's like, girl, have yourself an Eastern European adventure. But it culminates into the all night love making. They fuck to death. Which has Christian origins in that she is doing something unholy. She's dancing with the devil or something until cock crows. The cock crows. It's so sexual. It's like until he orgasms or whatever, you know, the cock crows. The cock crows. Oh, does the cock crow? She's like, oh, don't stop, baby. Your cock hasn't crowed yet. And even there's a line that says in Romeo and Juliet, girl finds happy days from happy nights. Man, this is not ill-fated. I thought the line from that he said to her that she was the priestess of Isis. If she would have been a priestess of Isis, that was an interesting line. Which suggested that because Isis, the priestess of Isis, Inanna, she did a poem to keep from being slaughtered all night. She just kept going, hours and hours and hours, but she recited this poem. So I feel like that's what that's about. But yeah, so I was just thinking about, these are all things that I was like thinking about when I was thinking about watching the movie. So it was good. I liked it. 4 stars. It's on my Letterboxd. But I was thinking like, yeah, very much like Romeo and Juliet in a sense. It's ill-fated.